All right, so as we do this, we're going to transition to our main speaker for today to talk about our hopes and dreams. Thank you. Fire tablet.
Unmute. Okay, ladies. It's all ladies, right? I don't want to. If there are any gentlemen lurking in the background listening, you too. Let's see. Are you able to upload this, my deck? You're on mute.
Yes, I am. Now that I've opened it, I'm seeing that it didn't come through with everything that I think some images you may have put in didn't come through, but the content is there. Is that all right?
Okay. Yeah, I can always, it was probably just quotes that didn't come through. We will send this to everyone after the fact. We'll send you an email. If we have everyone's email, we'll send you a hard copy of what we're going to go over today. There we go. Okay, I think everything's there.
Okay.
So this is, so these are today's we're going to start by steps to buying a home. And I have a quote there. The next slide says, what would life be if we had no courage to attempt anything? And I think that's important. That's by Vincent van Gogh. If those of you who were listening heard that there were several ladies who had been in the club before and coming back. So those of you who are coming back, you had the courage to come back because you know your eyes are on a bigger prize, and that's very important. So for those of you who are new, buying a home will be one of the biggest purchases you ever make in your life. It is a huge endeavor, and so it's not anything you want to take lightly. So the first slide talks about the things that I think you will learn over the next few months that will help you in your quest to purchase a home. And the first thing is that you take this class. So you're here, so you can check that one off. The next one is to check your credit report. And several ladies mentioned that they had already worked with Larissa, but if you're new to the class, the first thing Larissa will do is help you pull your credit report. The next thing, if you haven't been, start now paying your bills on time. It sounds simple, and I know it's hard, but you have to. One of the things that will impact your credit score more than anything else is paying your bills on time. The next thing, save, save, save. Buying a house is, again, one of the biggest purchases you'll ever make. And if you're not saving, once you buy the house, you're going to still run into all sorts of expenses. So I cannot stress to you how important it is to save. I told people once we bought a house, I went from going to Macy's to going to Home Depot. And that's really true. So you can no longer go and buy all kinds of little frou-frou stuff because you need a lawnmower and grass seed and all kinds of stuff like that. You want to decrease or eliminate as much debt as possible to help your credit score. And you want to educate yourself on the process. So you're going to have some great speakers over the course of the next few months. They'll talk about what it's like to get a home inspection, what the mortgage process is really like. If you have a homeowner who just bought in the group, so be sure you find out who she is and ask her questions about her process. But you want to educate yourself to the process. And the last thing I have here is keep stable. That means don't do anything erratic. Don't change jobs. Don't go out and buy a new car. Don't buy a whole house full of furniture. Don't do anything until you actually get to the closing table and buy your house. I know Angela's on this call, and Angela can tell you about people who go out and buy a car because their credit got up and they got the credit up, not realizing it was going to mess up their ratios and they wouldn't be able to buy a home. So these are some things you want to keep in mind as you go along. So the next slide, today we're going to talk about what is your money style. So we have a little quiz for you because my mama was a teacher and I always like to quiz people. So page 5 are the first 2 questions. So I'm going to ask everyone to get out a pen and paper and write down the questions, your answer to the first 2 questions. So it's a total of 5 questions. So number your paper 1 through 5, and in a few seconds after you've had a chance to answer questions 1 and 2, we'll go to 3 and 4, and then question 5. And then we'll talk about it, and then we'll talk about your answers, okay? Okay, everybody finish this page. We're going to go to the next one.
No, I wasn't. Can I see number 2 again? I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
Can I had a phone call. I had a phone call interrupted. I might have to leave and come back because my screen is not showing the.
We're going to send this whole deck out to everybody by email. No problem, sweetheart.
Okay.
If you are
But
on
go
a
ahead.
phone, if you are on a phone and you swipe right, you may get to the screen where it shows the presentation. And it also may be too big and showing not showing on your phone.
Yeah, it might be.
And maybe you could read the questions.
Oh, okay, I could do that. So question 1 was, what's your typical lunch during the work week? I pack lunch with leftovers from the night before. A variety of that's A. B is a variety of prepared lunches from home and a handful of takeout meals throughout the month. Answer C is I usually grab something from one of the local restaurants during my lunch break. Occasionally, I bring something from home. Or answer D is I can't get through the day without a latte in the morning and a solid lunch out of the office in the afternoon. The question number 2 is, how important is your credit score to you personally? Answer 1 is, I live and breathe by this number. It influences almost all my buying decisions. That's A. B is, I check my credit every month. It's important to know where you stand. C is, I have a general idea where I'm at, but it's not the first thing on my mind. And D is, what is a credit score? Next page. Next page. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking at it on my screen too. Okay, question 3. If you want something that is $3,000, but you only have $1,500 available funds in your account, what would you do? Answer A, wait until I can save the additional $1,500 and see, and the $1,500 I need before purchasing it. B, compromise on a similar item that only costs the $1,500 I currently have. C, purchase a $3,000 item, paying $1,500 up front and put the rest on the credit card. Or D, purchase a $3,000 item and put it all on credit. Question 4, what does retirement savings mean to you? A, Roth IRA, 401k, stocks, bonds, and personal savings. B, using my work benefits along with personal savings. C, I think I get something for retirement through my place of employment. Or D, something I don't have to worry about until I'm older. All right, and question 5. Next page is, when you see an exciting impulse buy, how do you manage the situation? Response A, I remind myself I'm here for these 5 items and nothing else. B, I remember I already bought a small impulse buy yesterday, so this one could potentially harm my budget. C, I made it through the workday today. I deserve this. Or D, I already have 4 other things I wasn't expecting to buy. What's one more? Okay. So I want you to count up the number of what you have, A, B, C's, and D's, and then I want you to circle the letter that you have the most of. So if you have majority out of the 5, if you have more A's than any other, circle A. If you have more B's, if you have more C's or D, whatever alphabet you have the most of, circle that one. And now we'll go to the next slide that will tell you what kind of spending style you have. So if you're an A, that means you're a penny pincher. That means your finances are the key to your existence. All aspects of your financial and all aspects of your financials are crafted in a strategic plan to make the most out of various savings accounts. So you're doing the right things. If you answered mainly B's, then you're a balanced budgeter. In your world, the life of a budget doesn't have to be centered around a hunker down mentality. A budget is a fluid medium. That means that it's, you know, it's a living document, but that you, and you can occasionally add an expense that you hadn't planned on it, but mainly you are a planner and a budgeter. If you answered mainly C's, then you are a cautious creditor. And that just means you probably need a little help in the budgeting department. While not all of your choices are made that will help your savings, you know, so you are working towards your financial goal. And D, you're a debt developer. So you might have some issues. So I'm not going to ask everyone to provide, well, no, I will. I think I will. Can we do the chat here, Eliza?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so does everybody know how to use the chat box?
Yes.
And I'd love for you to do is go in the chat box and just put what your letter was. Okay, so like, there you go, Ivy, you got it, like tied for A and C, yeah, okay. Wow, we got a lot of A's and B's in here, that's wonderful. Okay, A's and B's, that's good, that is great. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, so that's wonderful. So that means, Larissa, your work is gonna be easy because everybody in here is already following a budget. So the next slide, I love this slide. It's from Dr. Martin Luther King, and it says, faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. And so today you're taking faith, you're taking a step in yourself and having faith that a house is there, even when you can't see that whole house or the whole staircase. And so I thought that was very appropriate today that you're here and you're working on the things we need to do to get you to that next step. So the next slide talks about what steps you will change in your style. So most of you were A's and B's, and so you may not have a lot to change. But I will share with you when we worked with, over the years when we've worked with individuals in this program, we've learned a lot. And people come back and tell us how they've changed their lifestyles and what it's made a difference. If you have children, and they're used to ordering pizza, you may have to say to them, we're not ordering pizza every Friday anymore. We're gonna, you know, cook in, or we're gonna eat something we already have in the house. You may find that if you have coworkers that like to eat out a lot or order in a lot, you may have to say, I'm bringing my lunch in, so that you can, is that better, Eliza? Can you see me better?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm moving this around so I can see my screen. So you may have to have a conversation about, you know, I mean, I know nobody's going out a lot now, and so COVID's kind of made a lot of us learn to cook more, eat at home more. But if there are things that you could be doing to save, ordering out less or not ordering from Amazon or things like that, even when you're buying groceries or going in the grocery store, think about how you can economize more, or buy things that you can eat for lunch that might last 2 or 3 days, or looking at the sales. And one of the exciting speakers that we have is the young lady that's going to talk to you about couponing. She is amazing, and you will be so excited. So those of you who don't know how to coupon, a lot of you have been in this, so you may have heard her before, but that will be a great one on learning how to be a better economizer when you are shopping in the grocery store, especially. So what things are you doing now that you want to do differently so you can be ready? It could be you want to save more money. It could be you want to eliminate a debt. You want to focus on a specific debt that you want to try to pay down. So I want you to think about what those things are. I want you to think about what things within your family and with your friends and coworkers, what conversations do you want to have? So buying a home, especially when you have others in the family, it's a family project. It's not something that's just you. Everyone has to be a part of the plan, a part of the process. So everyone has to agree that we're gonna not spend this much money. It might be getting rid of stuff on if you've got cable and you want to just eliminate a lot of stuff. Nowadays, most people are streaming, so there are lots of ways to lower those kinds of costs. It might be that, you're not going to keep the air condition up as high in your apartment if your electric bill is high, and see if you can economize that way. So talk to your family about ways that you could bring even more money into the house. If you have a craft or crafting, if you can cook or make something that might bring you extra income in, because all of that will get you to your prize even faster. And so those are the kinds of things you want to focus on. So this next quote that I really like is, I know from experience, and this George Foreman, he does, that you should never give up on yourself or others, no matter what. So I'm really, really, again, pleased to have people here who've been in the class before. That means you've never given up. And George is right. You can't give up, because, there is always the possibility for this to happen, no matter what has happened to you in the past. So your homework is, 1, write down the things that you're going to do differently to change your style. Whether that is, looking at ways of making more money, getting something out on Etsy or something like that. Whether it's having conversations with family and friends, write that down. What are the conversations you want to have? What are the things you want to do differently? Write all of that down, because that's important. And that will help you be prepared for the next steps. And then the last thing I want you to do, because we'll do a visioning session in September, I want you to start collecting pictures of the kinds of houses you think you might like, the colors you might like in your rooms, the rooms that are decorated, pieces of furniture. I want you to start collecting pictures and keeping those in a file, so that you can put all of those together on a vision board when we get together next time. So start collecting all those pictures and putting them in a file for me. So let's see, next slide. The last quote: a dream doesn't become a reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. That's from Colin Powell. All right, so I'll stop here and see if you have any questions.
Can you go back to the last slide? My pen stopped working for me. Are you gonna email us the thing? Okay.
You're gonna get it in the
You don't
email
have to go
too.
back. Okay.
I mean, couldn't be there. Go ahead. By me not able to sign in, will I get the email too?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, by me not being able to sign in on Zoom, will I be able to get the email too? Because I got the email to sign in, but it wouldn't let me sign in.
If you got the email, and even though you didn't sign in, then we'll send this out to everyone that we had an email for.
Okay, thank you.
Can you put your email in the chat?
Okay. I'll put it in. Damn, I just do chat.
Can I say something?
Okay, so no questions? Everybody's okay and ready to move forward? You got the pictures and you know what we're gonna do next?
I
You have a question?
Okay.
I wanted to know if I could set up an appointment with Larissa. I mean, this is my second time in the program, but I never got a chance to make an appointment with her, and I wanted to know if we could schedule an appointment.
Right. Larissa, are you gonna send your information out to them to call you?
Yes, Lisa, I can reach out to you, or you can call our office, and I'll put the number in the chat.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's try to connect. Thank you.
Sorry for the house phone.
Can I say something? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, I was gonna say ones that need a lot of help with credit, I try to work with them to get them credit ready and boost the score up first. And the ones that's more credit ready, we try to reserve for Larissa so we can try to balance it out. And I was listening to the ones that called in, and I think most everyone has been working for over 2 years. And yes. I was so proud of Deandra. She had been working for 2 years and brought her house. And so that means she was focused. She stayed on her budget. And as you can see, she can do it in 2 years. And so that should be encouragement for the other ones that's taken a while. But a lot of times people think they have to pay off all their debt. You don't have to do that, but you have to make sure you take care of the best debt. So, and we can help you get there.
Yes, Angela will help you. Angela and Donna will crack.
Thank you for that, Angela.
Okay, well, Miss Angela, I'm gonna make my appointment with you first because my thing is good.
Come on, baby, come on.
So, ladies, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. Do not be frustrated. Do not be discouraged. Everything you do that is positive toward getting your home is a step further toward your goal. So don't be discouraged. Be positive, and we'll talk about the kinds of houses you're looking for and what you want, and start visioning it, because once you can see it, it just helps you get there even faster. And it helps you to understand where it is that you want to go. No. Well, that's everything I have, unless someone else has any other questions of Angela or Larissa or Donna. They will be your first line of defense and getting you ready. They will assist you. They will pull your credit. They will review it, and they will tell you, give you a plan of action. And then from that plan of action, you can move forward.
So do we pull our credit before we make an appointment with Angela or Larissa, or will they pull the credit report?
Angela, do you want me to talk about that?
I can talk about it. We usually pull the credit, and when we pull your credit report, we do a tri-merge, and it gives you all 3 credit scores. And then when the nonprofits pull it, it's a soft pull, so it doesn't affect your credit.
Okay. Okay.
Can I ask a question to Donna, actually? I wanted to know if the CEF office is open now, taking appointments with people.
We are. We have, let me tell you our new hours. We are open from 10 to 12, 1 to 3, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then on Thursdays, we're open from 5 to 7 p.m.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Chat, because I couldn't get it all.
I'll put it in the chat.
Donna, I just want to know, what does your organization do again?
So if there is additional credit work that is taking more time for you to do, we also have savings accounts, a match savings account that people can interact with to start saving for their homes. We can do some of that work. We can help with budgeting. So those type things.
Okay, thank you.
Also, is there still funds to help with down payment if you're a Duke employee? Has that been discussed?
There's none at this point. Initially, when that happened, that was for a special situation in Southside, and that was really the reason why we started the club. So the most important thing that we feel is that we are able to still offer the club no matter whether there's a down payment or not. And we're trying to encourage and find funding to support those match savings whenever possible. So we're more focused on that now. So, but we might want to have somebody. Larissa, do you want to go through the whole lineup of programs, since we've already scheduled the whole year out before we?
Oh, the whole agenda.
Yeah.
Actually, Eliza, do you have that right in front of you? I know that on Wednesday, we have the person from Duke Personal Finance, who's an advisor on student loans and repayment plans. And so that's on Wednesday, the 15th at 5:30. And I think we already put out a link, but we'll send it out again. And then I think Therese has lined up another session for August that she mentioned, more focused on budgeting. And then she's got this great loan officer who works for the bank, who's been working with first-time home buyers before. And so that's at the August 27th.
So Donna's doing the budgeting, Larissa.
Oh, I should be quiet then and let Donna talk. Donna, do you want to talk about your budgeting session?
Yes, I'm doing the budgeting, so there will be some interactive stuff that we will do. Some of these hard questions, like Artrice just tried to kill us with, during that session. We'll talk about some different ways to approach budgeting that I've worked with different ones that have come through the Homebuyers class with. So yeah, that will be budgeting 101.
Patrice said that she's going to give you a little time to get your pictures together for the visioning session in September. And then we'll have a realtor who also loves to work with first-time home buyers. It's really important to have people who want to put in the time, because you're going to have lots of questions and you're going to want programs and, you know, a little extra hand holding because you're first-time home buyers. So you want folks who really love to help someone buy their first home, which we all do. And then in October, you'll get your benefits information, and Mamie always lines up a wonderful speaker to talk about benefits like retirement and other things. Anyone else want to talk about what they're going to be doing? Any questions or comments, ideas?
I
have a question. I'm sorry.
Comment for Deandra, since she's a first-time home buyer, she's purchased. I'd like to give her information on post-purchase about maintenance for the home and retirement, budgeting or saving for repairs. So we can do a one-on-one on that. If you're still there, Deandra.
Okay, thank you. Who is that talking?
You're welcome.
Angela.
Angela Coleman.
Okay, I'll send you my email. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tandra, since you are the newest first-time home buyer, are there any things you'd like to share with the group?
Sure. Definitely never give up because it's been a journey. I would definitely say it's been a journey. I don't want to give any like horror stories or nothing, but it's not easy. Like it's work. It's work and getting a house. It's a lot of stuff that you have to do, but you just have to prepare. Like you don't just like, it doesn't happen overnight. I would say it like that. I'll bring my video back on so you can see me when I'm talking. Oh, wait. So there I go. So it doesn't happen overnight, basically. I would actually just go ahead and share. I was on the contract for a previous home in November, and I actually did pull my contract for the home. The person I was under contract for, they must have thought I wasn't going to pull my contract because I actually spend a lot of money in trying to get that home, but they couldn't produce a clean title. And I was like faced with the challenge of going through with it, which I could have, or pulling my contract. It was an encroachment on the property. It was something wrong with the land survey. And I pulled my contract and I lost a fair amount of money, like probably almost like $4,000, like wow, in trying to get that home. But everything that happens bad is not always a bad thing, because I came out in a much bigger and better and beautiful home. Like I'm telling y'all, like I was trying to get like a fixer-upper home, and I wanted that home so bad, and then it not worked out. And I tell you, this home that I have now, I actually came into it. It's funny, you know what? I didn't realize it till just now. It's so funny. I lost $4,000 and I gained $4,000 in equity in this home. When I closed on this home, I just realized I got $4,000 in this home. It appraised for $4,000 more. So technically, I got my money back, and I'm still fighting to get my for the other homes. I may even get more back if I get my money back. If I don't, then it's like, it is what it is. But it's just definitely just keep moving forward with it. Just know, definitely take this class seriously. Do what you need to do. If your loan officer tell you to do something, do it. Miss Larissa tell you to do something, definitely do it. Like, because she know exactly what she's talking about. When they say don't, use this card, or don't go get this, or like, make sure you keep your budgets within that 10% range. Like, just do exactly what you need to do. And it's very extremely rewarding. So I really appreciate it. I won't talk your heads off though.
No, I think your statements is right on point. That's what we want everybody on this call to experience. So absolutely.
And Deandra, you're so correct, because we've had people that got right there at closing and decided to buy a vacuum cleaner, a Kirby vacuum cleaner before closing. And so that just messed up everything. Help people get married day before closing. Those are things you don't do. Or switch jobs off the table. So I always tell people, don't get married, don't get divorced, don't open up no new credit. Those are things you don't do. You just
No
don't.
changes, no sudden movements.
Yeah, Larissa, she's smiling, but she experienced that this week.
Well, I wanted to mention something. I wanted to reinforce something that Deandra said. First of all, I have to say that Angela taught me what I know. But secondly, Deandra mentioned 10%. And even before I look at credit reports, when you come in, check your credit card balances and see if you can start working them down so they're no more than 10% of the credit limit. And you will be amazed at how that helps your credit score.
If you have student loans, you need to come to the next class, because student loans can be a real hindrance to buying a home. So we want you to definitely understand what your options are, because that's changing as well. Mamie, we're all done. You want to close us out?
Certainly. Guys, as always, we will start at 5:30. We will end on time. We expect to be here an hour. We're here to support you, but it really starts with you. It's all about you. We're not going to push you. We're not going to do any of that. We're just going to be your encourager, your advocate, and provide you the tools that you need. And if you can do that, you're going to reach your goals, just like Angela, Deandra, and everybody else on this call. All right? So have a good one. We'll see you next time. Bye.
All right.